Is it worth the waiting for? If we live till 84, all we ever get is cruel. Every day we say a prayer. Will they change the bill of fare? Still we get the same old gruel. There's not a crust, not a crumb. Can we find? Can we beg? Can we borrow or cash? But there's nothing to stop us from getting a thrill when we all close our eyes and imagine glorious food, hot sausage and mustard, while we're in the mood, cold jelly and custard, peas, pudding and saveloys. What next is the question? Rich gentlemen and his boys in digestion. We're practicing trying 3 banquets a day. Our favorite diet. Just picture a great big steak, fried roasted stew. Food, glorious food. Don't care what it looks like. Undumped and crude. Don't care what it looks like.
Just thinking of growing fat.
Our senses are reeling. One moment of knowing that food up here. Food, glorious food. What would we live for? That's extra bit more. That's all that we live for. Why should we be created to do nothing but
If you've eaten fresh berries over the past 9 months, chances are you paid too much and tasted too little. But with summer upon us, it brings an end to sky-high prices and lackluster fruit. Berries are the ultimate summer superfood. They're dense with antioxidants and other powerful nutrients that defend against everything from cancer to memory loss. Use them to dress up a summer salad. Toss a pint of berries with mixed greens, walnuts, and goat cheese. Or, of course, they are perfect plain, and preferably freshly caught.
The Mediterranean, a sea brimming with tradition, offering an abundant, genuine and varied source of food. Fresh fish is very important as part of a healthy diet and ideally consumed at least twice a week, since it's a major source of omega-3 fats and very rich in nutrients such as vitamin D and selenium. Eating fish weekly can help lower the blood pressure and reduce the risk of stroke. Eat fresh fish. It's a healthy dish.
Now, these can be prepared into delectable and delicious and nutritionally high, dense foods. If you look at, for instance, almonds that you make into a powder and add some pure water into it and season it, they can be made into pâtés and loaves. Filberts, macadamia nuts, pine nuts, a wide array of extraordinary foods for us. Now, we don't want you to go completely bonkers on this and eat too many nuts, but they are good substitutes. Here at Hippocrates, we have them as our main courses 2 or 3 days a week.
I'm Lynn Goldstein, a registered dietitian. Looking for a great source of nutrient-dense lean protein? Eggs are an excellent choice, and here's why. One large egg contains around 6 grams of protein and only about 70 calories. The egg is one of the few foods that is a natural source of vitamin D. Eggs also contain other essential nutrients like vitamin B12 and riboflavin, choline, which may help preserve memory and is an especially important nutrient for women who are pregnant or breastfeeding. Eggs even have a couple of antioxidants that may help protect vision. What about cholesterol, though? Well, eggs do have a lot of it, rivaling only shrimp, duck, and liver at 185 milligrams per egg. Now that is a lot of cholesterol, especially since the recommended daily allowance for most adults is 300 milligrams a day. And if you have cardiovascular disease, diabetes, or a high level of bad cholesterol, that's LDL or low-density lipoprotein, you should limit your dietary cholesterol intake to even less, no more than 200 milligrams a day.
How much do I love yogurt's health benefits? Let me count the ways. Why do Americans eat over 1 million cups of yogurt a year? What the heck is so great about it? We've got to start with its amazing history. Yogurt's been around in one form or another for thousands of years.
Opa!
But it wasn't until the 1970s, when everyone in America was obsessing about health food, that yogurt became really popular. The largest yogurt manufacturing plant in the world produces 230,000 cups of yogurt per hour. So how much do I love yogurt's health benefits? Let me count the ways. Yogurt's a great source of calcium and protein. A typical 6-ounce cup of yogurt provides 25 to 30% of your daily calcium needs. And that same 6-ounce serving of traditional yogurt delivers 7 to 9 grams of protein. And the bacteria that are used to make yogurt, they bring a whole new set of benefits to the table. Some brands are treated with specific strains of bacteria called probiotics that might help boost immune function, improve regularity, and combat various digestive disorders, although the benefits are still under study. And last but not least, regularly eating yogurt can help fight bad breath, presumably because the good cultures in yogurt combat.
How George lost 25 pounds in 3 months. Consult with your doctor before starting any weight reduction program. Stocking height 6 with wrist size of 7. April 6, 2015 before 185 pounds with waist at 40. July 7, 2015 after 160 pounds with waist at 34.
Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Attributed to Hippocrates, one must eat to live, not live to eat. Molière, suffer the pain of discipline, or suffer the pain of regret. You are what you eat. The body is your temple. Keep it pure and clean for the soul to reside in. Be smart, eat smart.
I'm 5 feet 9 inches. I weigh 130 pounds.
Joe Cordell doesn't look like a person who has to count calories, but he does, every one of them.
I'm consuming each day about 1,950 calories.
Joe follows a program called calorie restriction. Followers believe that by eating less, they will trigger a genetic switch that slows down the aging process.
Whenever you're thinking about calorie restriction, you should continually think about getting the most nutritional bang per calorie.
For breakfast, he starts with 3 apples, but he only eats the peel and tosses the rest.
Most of the fiber is in the peel. But more importantly, most of the nutrients are in the peel. The next thing, I add 2 cups of the wild blueberries. I'll put in a similar amount of raspberries. Then I check the weight of the walnuts. It's just a little more than 2 ounces. It's important to eat some nuts with breakfast so that you do take in some fats, some healthy fats, because I think it helps the absorption of the nutrients. And it's very filling. This contains more nutritional value, more antioxidants than probably the average American consumes in days, if not in a week, all packed in this one bowl. I eat a lot of food. Hey,
Every day for lunch, Joe hits the salad bar with a very large bowl.
So with some kale, always get lots of carrots, plenty of antioxidants, comparatively few calories. It looks like this would feed an entire family. This will probably weigh somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 pounds.
Before Joe started the calorie restriction program 7 years ago, he weighed 175 pounds. But since then, he says he lost 45 pounds and he hasn't had a cold in 7 years. Researchers studying Joe say that at age 51, he has the body of a 20-year-old athlete. Joe, a successful attorney, says there was a strong case for him to change his diet.
Since I started calorie restriction, I saw my blood pressure go down substantially. My heart rate went down substantially. Cholesterol, blood glucose, virtually all those indicators of good health. I had more energy than I'd ever had. I think the thing that's most incredible is that species that practice calorie restriction can live dramatically longer.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him two lips like roses and clover. Then tell him that his lonesome nights are over. Sandman, I'm so alone. Don't have nobody to call my own. Please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, 2009-2010, 2-3. More than 2 in 3 adults are considered to be overweight or obese. More than 1 in 3 adults are considered to be obese. More than 1 in 20 adults are considered to have extreme obesity. If you consume more calories than you use for a long period of time, it's impossible not to look like this. If you consume 1 slice of bread over your break-even metabolism for 30 years, you'll gain 30 pounds. Being overweight or obese can have a serious impact on health. Carrying extra fat leads to serious health consequences such as cardiovascular disease, mainly heart disease and stroke, type 2 diabetes, musculoskeletal disorders, like osteoarthritis, and some cancers, endometrial, breast and colon. The social consequences of being overweight and obese are serious and pervasive. Overweight and obese individuals are often targets of bias and stigma, and they are vulnerable to negative attitudes in multiple domains of living, including places of employment, educational institutions, medical facilities, the mass media, and interpersonal relationships.
It's important to realize that several psychological factors influence overeating. Emotional eating is something that's very common in my patients. So, for example, many people will eat because they're feeling stressed or they're feeling depressed, and many people use food as something to help fill a certain void in their life. So it's very important to evaluate your psychological health when you're trying to have a healthier lifestyle and trying to lose weight. So for my patients in particular, before they have weight loss surgery, we and insurance companies actually also require that they undergo a psychological evaluation. And this is very important because after weight loss surgery, our patients aren't physically able to eat the same volumes of food that they were eating before. So just because you have weight loss surgery doesn't mean that you're not going to still experience those emotions that you had before surgery. So it's important to find other ways to help cope with certain emotions. So if you feel that you are an emotional eater and you're overeating because you may be depressed or stressed, try to speak with your doctor or maybe a therapist or a psychologist to help find ways that you can better cope with these emotions.
75% of Americans are believed to have this one hormonal imbalance which prevents them from losing weight. Do you have it? Hi, I'm JJ Smith, author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, The 10-Day Green Smoothie Cleanse. I help people lose weight without dieting so they can get their sexy back. Now, I'm going to talk to you about a more serious topic today. One of the primary causes of obesity is the excess production of the hormone insulin. Many specialists have stated that it is excess insulin that makes you overweight, and it will keep you overweight. Insulin creates fat in the body. That's the short of it. In order to control your weight, you're going to have to control your insulin levels. Now, look, I'm not talking about being a diabetic or pre-diabetic. This is a different condition, and it affects many of us, 75% of us, including myself. It is called insulin resistance. I write about it in my book, my bestsellers. Many researchers have found that the majority of people who are having problems with weight is because they have this hormonal condition. And the bottom line is, in order for most people to get rid of fat, they're going to have to reduce their insulin levels. Now, how are we going to have to do that? First of all, unfortunately, we got to take away the sugar and the carbs, the white bread, the white potatoes. This causes more and more insulin to be produced in the body, right? So what we don't want to do is start focusing on just low-carb diets. Carbs are good. You just have to eat the healthy, good carbs. But unhealthy carbs like the white bread, the white pasta, those things will produce insulin, which will cause us to store fat, okay? So what's happening here is you got to see what I want you to understand. When you eat things like candy, cakes, pies, muffins, white bread, white potato, these cause a rapid rise in insulin levels, and that's going to result in excess fat in the body. Sometimes in as little as 2 hours this happens. Your body's already starting to store fat, and we don't want that to happen, okay? Now, anytime you have these elevated insulin levels, fat's going to store here, it's going to store here, you're going to have inflammation in the body. And when insulin levels stay high, everything you eat is going to just turn to fat. Your body's going to stop burning fat and it's going to start storing fat. So I'm going to make this simple. High insulin levels means you'll have more body fat. Lower insulin levels mean you'll have less body fat. That's it. That's the bottom line. Now, this discussion of insulin's role in weight gain is in my book, The Lose Weight Without Dieting or Working Out. But I give you a quiz, and it'll help you determine if you may have.
Hey, did you check out the new PSA about obesity on Twitter?
No, I haven't. The one right here about economic cost?
Yeah, man, click on it. Check it out.
Okay.
What obesity epidemic are you talking about?
Obesity costs this country about $150 billion a year, or almost 10% of the national medical budget. Approximately 1 in 3 adults and 1 in 6 children are obese. Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death attributable to heart disease, cancer, and diabetes.
What does obesity cost you?
The annual cost of being overweight is almost $20 per pound of extra weight, and average annual costs are $8,365 for obese women and $6,518 for obese men.
One, measure your wrist to determine frame, and then look up your ideal weight. 6.50 or lower is small, 6.50, 507.5 is medium, and above that is large. 2. Eat the same daily foods you enjoy, but modify portion size and substitute good for bad choices. 3. Keep track of your caloric intake. Remember, as you lose weight, you'll need less calories. 4. Increase exercise by 3 to 4 times. So, if are already walking 3 miles a day, walk 9. 4. Consider this, you will lose weight right away with this diet. However, as you lose weight, your caloric needs are also reduced. In order to keep up the pace, you must eat even less. 5. When you achieve your goal, you still have to stay on the diet for life. 6. Sugar and other bad simple carbohydrates are your enemy. The sugars in good simple and complex carbohydrate are released into your system at a much slower rate. This helps maintain healthy insulin blood levels. 7. If you feel hungry, you're doing something wrong, since your body is telling you that it's lacking proper nutrition. Milk, fruits and some vegetables contain naturally occurring simple carbs, but the foods are still healthy because they are rich in other nutrients such as vitamins, minerals, fiber, and phytonutrients. What you need to limit are added sugars, such as those found in desserts, candy, soda, and sugary cereals, according to the American Heart Association, since these provide calories without nutrients. Complex carbs are found in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and beans, and other legumes. Milk. 1. Energy. Carbs provide the body with energy immediately. That's their purpose by nature, and depriving yourself of them will leave you tired and fatigued all day long. I suggest eating them earlier in the day, when you need most of your energy, in the form of some whole grains, which take all day long to burn through your system. These carbohydrates from whole grains release slowly into the bloodstream, so you never suffer a crash, like you do with caffeine or sugar. This means you'll have energy all day long, and won't have to deal with the afternoon slump. 2. Digestion. Since carbs contain fiber, they help aid digestion and assist in regularity. This is one benefit of eating whole food sources of carbs such as whole grains, beans, legumes, vegetables, and fruits instead of opting for processed foods. 3. Metabolism. Carbohydrates provide you with energy, so they're important for an optimal metabolism. Without energetic calories, which is essentially what carbs are, your metabolism will suffer quickly. Most people assume that because a low-carb diet can lead to weight loss, that it will improve their metabolism, but this is actually the opposite from being true. While you might lose some weight without carbs, your metabolism will actually suffer and slow down the longer you prolong the diet. Again, eating whole food sources of carbs is the best way to optimize your energy, weight, and metabolism. 4. Sleep. Certain carbs, like oatmeal, pumpkin, sweet potatoes, bananas, and brown rice contains large amounts of tryptophan, which relax the body and help put you to sleep. Oatmeal even helps your body produce melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep. Eating some complex carbs at night before bed can help you sleep more soundly through the night and fall asleep faster. 5. Filling fiber. Fiber doesn't just regulate your digestion, it also keeps you full a really long time. While the daily recommended amount is only 25 to 30 grams of fiber, most plant-based meals provide much more, which means you'll stay fuller longer. For a super filling meal, aim for 10 to 15 grams of fiber from your foods, and try not to eat meals that contain less than 5 grams of fiber for optimal satisfaction. All whole food sources of carbohydrates are excellent sources of fiber. Fiber also slows down your blood sugar, so you don't get hungry quite as quickly, and it keeps your glycemic levels steady all day long. 6. Brain function. Your body also uses carbohydrates for optimal brain function. Foods such as vegetables, oats, quinoa, beans, legumes, nuts, seeds, and fruit all contain an array of carbs that aid in mental focus and a healthy mood. Without carbs you may become foggy-headed, feel lightheaded, have a hard time concentrating, feel sad or depressed, or just not feel like yourself. You may also have a harder time retaining information. Don't deprive your brain of carbs, it needs them. 7. Nervous system function. While sugar makes you jittery and anxious, complex carbs help provide a grounding effect to the body and reduce nervousness and anxiety. It's the reason you often feel less stressed after having a yummy bowl of oatmeal, a simple banana, or a dish made with sweet potatoes. Carbs provide your body with exactly what they need all the way down to your nervous system. They help your body produce a number of enzymatic reactions and bring balance in just about every way possible. What to avoid? The types of carbs you'll want to avoid are all refined grains and quick sources of sugar such as enriched flour, products made with whole grains, which indicates they're not 100% whole grain, evaporated cane juice, cane syrup, cane sugar, brown sugar, agave nectar, and even healthy sugars like tapioca syrup, brown rice syrup, molasses, coconut syrup, and maple syrup. Your body processes these very quickly, and they can alter your blood sugar in a negative way. Avoid buying breads, rolls, cereals, and other processed foods that contain refined grains or sugars, like those mentioned above. You're much better off eating whole grains, using stevia or fruit to sweeten your foods, and nixing most processed options altogether.
Alcohol's effects on the brain are quite complex, so just about any substance that people experience some kind of pleasure from tend to affect the brain centers that are involved in reward and control. And then over time with the addiction, the brain gets used to having that external stimulant there, and what ends up happening is some of those dopamine receptors kind of get used to having that, and they end up either becoming less sensitive or less productive of dopamine, so that when you stop, your brain's not really ready for that, and that's sort of oversimplifies it, but it's a part of what is involved with withdrawal. But alcohol has effects in lots of different areas of the brain, not just that sort of reward area, but it's also involved in a range of other neurotransmitters beyond dopamine. So, things like glutamate and GABA and other parts of the brain, the hippocampus, which is involved in memory, the cerebellum, which is the back part of your brain that's involved in motor coordination. And likewise, when someone is alcohol dependent, it is one of the most destructive drugs to various parts of your body and different organ systems. From the top down, chronic alcohol dependence can have significant effects on cognitive functioning, memory, motor coordination, all which is controlled up in the brain. You can have esophageal problems down into the stomach, pancreas, the liver, because the liver is the organ that kind of clears a lot of the toxic things out of our body. When that starts shutting down, it not only is not able to really process alcohol and its toxic byproducts well, but there are other things that it just starts losing functioning. And when that starts going, it's a very serious physical problem. Worst case scenarios can be things like alcohol-related dementia or delirium, which are serious brain problems, or cirrhosis would be another really major problem. These are things that people become extremely ill and need to go into a nursing home, or people just die from.
Fruits and vegetables. Potatoes, tomatoes, onions, okra, dill, pickles, carrots, yams, strawberries, peas, radishes. Beans, broccoli, spinach, green beans, zucchini, apples, pears, cucumbers, asparagus, grapefruit, prunes. Whole grains. Buckwheat, brown rice, corn, wheat, barley, oats, sorghum, quinoa. Dairy. Low-fat yogurt, skim milk. Nuts, seeds, and legumes. Lentils, kidney beans, chickpeas, split peas, soybeans, pinto beans, soy milk. You cannot just stop eating or skipping meals. Women 655 plus 4.35x weight in pounds plus 4.7x height in inches, 4.7x age in years. Men 66 plus 6.23x weight in pounds plus 12.7x height in inches, 6.8x age in years. George equals 1535. Example: you are a 38-year-old woman who is 5'4" and 142 pounds. First, convert your height into inches. 5'4" equals 64 inches. Now paste your values into the equation above. 655 plus 4.35 by 142 plus 4.7 by 64-4.7 by 38. 655 plus 617.7 plus 300.8-178.6 equals 1394.9. Even the most sedentary person will burn more than that just by smiling, laughing, or fidgeting. To get a better sense of how many calories your body uses in any given day, you need to factor in your activity level. To determine your total daily calorie needs, multiply your BMR by the appropriate activity factor, as follows. If you are sedentary, little or no exercise, BMR x 1.2. If you are lightly active, easy exercise / sports 1 to 3 days / week, BMR x 1.375. If you are moderately active, moderate exercise / sports 3 to 5 days / week, BMR x 1.55. If you are very active, hard exercise / sports 6 to 7 days a week, BMR x 1.725. If you are extremely active, very hard exercise / sports and physical job, BMR x 1.9. Continuing with our example, let's assume you are lightly active. Multiply your BMR From above 1394.9 by 1.375 equals 1917.9875. This is the total number of calories you would need to maintain your current weight. 1 pound of body fat is equivalent to 3,600 calories, which means a person must cut that many calories from his/her diet to lose a single pound. By eliminating 500 calories a day, he/she will lose 1 pound in a week. So, if your daily caloric need is 1917.9875 to maintain your weight, subtract 500 from that, and you'll have the number of calories you can consume each day, and still lose a pound in 1 week. In this case, 1,417.9875 calories. Why do you care about your metabolic rate? Your metabolism, to a large degree, determines your dieting success. Do you want to keep it running high to burn the most calories? Unfortunately, many things can slow it down. Age: your metabolism slows by 5% every decade. Fat muscle burns 3 times more calories than fat. Eating slashing calories sends your body into starvation mode. It runs more slowly to preserve calories because it thinks that food is scarce. This is the reason why your weight loss can plateau during a diet. Exercise and building muscle mass through weight training, on the other hand, help to keep your metabolic rate up, which is why it is so important when dieting.
The power of the scale. So does this mean you really have to step on the scale every single day, if you want to lose weight and keep it off? Well, maybe. When it comes to behavior change of any kind, self-monitoring is one of the most valuable tools, says Scott Caton, Maryland, director of the National Center for Weight and Wellness. There are a few potential reasons stepping onto a scale may help you shed pounds. First of all, weight gain can't just slip by unnoticed. If you're gaining weight, you will see it and do something, says Levitsky. Beyond that, there may be some deeper psychological reasons why a scale can be a valuable piece of your weight loss arsenal. It acts as a form of positive or negative reinforcement, Levitsky says. If you see you gain weight, you'll reflect on what you may need to change, and if you lost weight, it reinforces that whatever you're doing is working. Furthermore, weighing yourself daily might help you resist the urge to eat mindlessly. When you see food, you're automatically inclined to take it as a cue to eat food, Levitsky says. A recent study demonstrated that, if you first step on a scale, then watch food commercials, it no longer results in eating, says Levitsky. Weighing yourself daily may give you the strength to resist when you're constantly surrounded by food cues. The downside of daily weigh-ins. This may sound convincing, but the scale can also be controversial. The number you see may fluctuate for a number of reasons, like if you're bloated or have been eating too many salty foods, Caton says. Plus, some people can't cash in on the body benefits of consistent weighing because it tanks their mood. Everybody has different needs and tendencies. Constant weighing can throw some people for a loop. They get freaked out when the number goes up by a pound, and it ends up being counterproductive, says Caton. Although there are other methods you can use to track your weight, it might be worth working through your scale phobia. No other method of tracking weight loss is 100% equivalent to weighing yourself. In a lot of cases, just working through the scale anxiety with a professional helps to get past that, so you can use it in a productive way, says Caton. Still not feeling it? Try these tips on, for size.
since it takes 3,600 calories to lose a pound, 2.637 days to lose 1 pound. Again, I want to lose 25 pounds, and have started this regime on April 6, 2015. I estimate that it will take about 50 days to complete the diet. Okay, put away the brie and consider this: about 30% of your metabolism is under your control, the rest devoted to such mundane but essential functions as digesting food and repairing cells isn't. And as researchers get deeper into the physiology of weight regulation, they're fine-tuning their understanding of what it takes to ramp up that 30% and drop pounds. Happily, it starts with what you consume: the right foods at the right times.
1. The insecure partner. The presence of an insecure partner can negatively affect your diet. People who are insecure about their weight might seek overweight partners in order to feel secure in a relationship. Once one partner decides to lose weight, the change could negatively impact the insecure partner, who might start to do subtle things that could hurt a diet. For example, if a husband is uncomfortable with his wife's weight loss plans, he might purposely order foods that can tempt his wife to break her diet. If you feel like your partner is being unsupportive, have a conversation with him/her. Let your partner know that your weight loss will not affect your relationship. 2. The food critic. In almost every group, there might be the one self-proclaimed food critic who likes to read reviews and find out what the most raved about dishes are from different restaurants. Even though having a food critic in a group can be helpful, since she or he will know what the best options are, oftentimes, the food critic can persuade you to fall off of your diet. For example, the food critic might push you to get the restaurant's most popular meal, even though the meal does not fall into your diet plans. Try your hardest to avoid succumbing to peer pressure. Just because a particular meal was considered to be the most popular by other restaurant goers, it does not mean you have to order it. 3. The sports fans. Chicken wings, pizza and beer are typical foods you might find at a sports bar or party. However, these foods are definitely not good for your diet. Even though your friends might not be forcing food down your throat, having these options displayed can be tempting enough. When attending a sports party, try bringing your own snacks or eat beforehand. 4. The workout partner. Ironically, your workout partner can lead you astray. When working out with a buddy, you risk doing everything together, ranging from using the same workout machines to eating the same after-workout snacks. However, since metabolisms differ, it might not be smart for you to follow what your buddy eats. The next time your workout buddy orders a protein shake or grabs an energy bar, considering looking at the nutritional values first. 5. The family member that takes it personally. There are family members who might take it personally if you do not eat something they made. These relatives do not care that their foods do not fall within the perimeters of your diet, and they might end up being offended, which can strain your relationship. In order to please them and yourself, take very small portions and verbally express how much you enjoyed the meal. 6. The bar hopper. Bar hopping can be a very fun, social event. As you make your way through different bars, the cocktail and beer list might start to lure you into having one or a few drinks. Many of these drinks will most likely have a lot of calories and sugar, which can definitely ruin your diet. Try hanging out with your friends at different locations. 7. Your BFF. Your best friend can either hurt or help you with your diet. Some best friends might go to extremes and help you avoid all kinds of bad foods. Other kinds of best friends, however, might use food to console you when you are down. These foods, such as ice cream and cake, are often high in fat and sugar. Tell your best friend about your diet goals. Being your best friend, he or she should be understanding. 8. The client. If you work with clients, chances are you will have business lunches or dinners. Anytime you eat out at restaurants, chances are that you will end up consuming more calories than you want. Since you cannot get out of these meals, try picking healthy but hearty food options. Eating a healthy snack before a meal can also lower your chances of overeating. 9. The baker. Whether you have a baker in your social group or at work, any kind of baked goods can be extremely tempting. Instead of eating a slice of cake or cookies every time that person bakes, try to decline politely and tell them that you are watching your weight. 10. Overweight friend. Having an overweight friend who is not dieting can hurt your diet. A recent study found that people with an overweight friend who became obese were more likely to gain weight alongside their friend. When you are eating out with your friends, remember to stay on track and avoid ordering too much food or sharing appetizers or desserts that might be fattening. Not eating enough. I've talked about this countless times. When you don't eat enough calories, it causes all kinds of negative feedback loops in the body. From hormone changes to mood fluctuations, eating too few calories will only serve to work against you in your fat loss goals. Not eating enough food ranks up there at the very top of reasons for why diets fail. If you're not sure how much you should be eating, check out How Many Calories Should I Eat? This will help you make sure you are eating as many calories as possible that will still allow you to lose weight. By doing this, you keep your important muscle building and fat loss hormones high. Hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, and thyroid will be optimized, and that will foster an environment that is conducive to not just weight loss, but fat loss. You're dieting instead of changing your lifestyle. The successful people don't diet, they undergo a lifestyle change. If you are one of those people that has a hard time dieting, what are you going to do when your diet is over? You need to lay out a plan that will forever change your lifestyle. By doing this, you increase your rate of success not just now, but well into the future. After all, what's the point in losing 10 pounds, if you are going to be lost again once you get there? Focus on building a diet that is sustainable and will be part of your life forever. Binge eating. Who here binge eats?
Hi, thanks for stopping by. My name is George, and I'm giving this lecture at Greenbrier Computer Club, July 27, 2013. It's called Criteria for Stock Purchases. Merits you'll need. You'll need patience, courage, and fortitude. You'll have patience to wait for the right price, courage to act when you should act and buy, and fortitude